last screw. I think I could put another one in here, and that's what I'm going to do. Then that'll be the last. All right? Okay, this is the last screw. Last screw, baby. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, that's the last screw. What do you think of that, huh? I'm done with my deck rail. And I gotta tell you, it's been a while. It's taken me a while. I've kind of worked at it bit by bit here and there. And I can tell you that there's nothing more satisfying than putting in that last screw. And, okay, it's 6 minutes after 1. It's the 9th. I've been working on this since I think the 28th of April, and like I said, I had plenty of time to get it done before it was going to be time to swim. I got the pool open. I was able to get a minimal amount of sawdust in it, so that's a good thing. And now it's time for me to do a celebratory beer. So with no further ado, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do me a celebratory shotgun in honor of me finishing the deck. It's kind of like christening a ship, only it's not a ship and I'm not using champagne. And instead of busting a bottle and letting the booze just go into the drink, I'm going to put the drink down in me. Okay, how's that sound? Alright, got my trusty knife, got my favorite beer. I'm going to poke a hole in this prick. Oh, baby, this is going to be... Oh, the beauty of it. The beauty. Nothing went spraying this time. Classic. Classic. And the guy I used to chat with in the NWO room said, "Captain, you don't do shotguns right." And I say, you know what? Any way you do them is right. So I got a big hole, kind of bigger than I hoped, but all the faster for the beer to go down. Let me line this up, and voila. Ah! Nothing left. Ah! Oh! It got wedged in this region. Oh! So, all I could do now is enjoy the rest of the summer. We're thinking about getting some deck boxes. It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool. So, you know that I tore apart the old deck and I reused the lumber, okay, to lay the deck. Now, a few years ago, we got a new pool because our old pool rotted out. And at that point, the pool was, I don't know, probably about 25 years old. It was steel. I'm not sure if it was galvanized. My brain doesn't serve me at this point. But at any rate, it rotted out, and we bought a new pool. And the guys came and installed the pool, and they installed it about 6 to 8 inches away from the old deck. Okay, so by the time we got the pool filled up and I got the dirt taken care of, because it was dirt all over the place and I had to rake it out and grate it and all that stuff, but it was super hot. It was time to go swimming. We had to get in this pool. I wanted to get in the pool, so I went up to Home Depot and I bought a bunch of lumber and I laid it over the old deck and I extended it 6 to 8 inches here and there so it would be up to the pool. And within by the end of the summer, the boards on the end here were all curling up because they weren't screwed down to nothing. They weren't anchored to anything. So, you know, I sat and looked at that, and I was just very, you know, disappointed in myself and in the fact that, you know, that's the way it was going to look. So I've been telling my wife, and I've been telling myself, and I've been telling people for a while now, I'm going to rip that deck apart. I'm going to rebuild it, and I'm going to put a rail on it this time, because there was never a rail. And yeah, keep talking. So a year went by, 2 years went by. I'm not even sure. It could have been about 4 years. And what I did is I started pulling the deck apart, and I got the videos to prove that. And I pulled the deck apart, and I pulled everything apart, and I came up with the idea that I was going to run the boards the way you see them, because the boards were running this way. I decided to run them this way. So to do that, I needed to put these, where is it? Well, there you go. I put these, what would be the word I want to use? Well, I don't know. I used them basically as joists over top of the other joists. Okay? And it brought the deck up the 1.5 inches, and then I screwed down the old decking that was on top, and the decking that was underneath, instead of throwing it out and cutting it up into little pieces for the garbage man, I decided to cut them boards and use them as my posts for my new rail. And there you go. Okay, I notched them in, 2x6s, took 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches cut out of each one, and I notched them in, and now you can see that sucker is solid. All right, and then I did the same thing over there, of course, put a nice cap on it, and I had a couple of ideas about how I wanted to do this. I had, you know, I was playing around with it. How did I want to do it? What did I want to use? And I finally came up with the idea to just make this as solid as could be. Okay, and I put the 2x6 across the bottom, 2x4 across the top, and then I connected them with 2x4 spindles. Okay, now it's not really a spindle, but that's what it is. Okay, where it's kind of like set back. And I just love that. I'm pleased with myself that I did this, because I was able to recycle this lumber, and when it was all said and done, I ended up spending about $90 in lumber, and I got some of it from a Mr. Seconds, which basically that means that lumber wasn't good enough to be sold at a Home Depot. Okay, but I went and bought some other wood from Home Depot, and I bought 1.5 boxes of screws, 2 boxes of screws. So when it's all said and done, you might say that I spent about $120 on this whole deck. Okay, $120. That open there, Captain. What's going on with that? And what I'm going to do here is I'm either going to build a set of steps or a ladder. I'm thinking ladder. But that's something that I can work on as the weeks go by. Now all I have to do is clean everything up and stain the deck, and it's going to be smooth sailing, kids. Smooth sailing for the captain. He's going to be swimming in his pool. He's going to be drinking his beers. He's going to have a